Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Son of a Silver Stacker. In today's Numismatic News and Information for the first day of November 2023, I'd like to welcome you over to moneymetals.com so we can check out those live spot prices and then the availability and the premiums for the American Silver Eagle. After that, we'll bump over to the United States Mint Bullion page, see if there's any new tale-to-tale for their sales. Then we're going to be talking about central banks buying gold. Then we got an awesome pair of plus ones today. And one of the plus ones, well, is about coins and using a die to strike coins. It's really cool, actually. I'm surprised I found it. But before all that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs so we can sell merchandise here on this channel with the Son of a Silver Stacker logo there. And that's going to be pretty awesome. Imagine that on a hoodie, sweatshirt, a bumper sticker, a mug, a t-shirt, you name it. If we can do it, we're going to do it. Now, over here to moneymetals.com. Looks like gold is down $1 to 1994.25, silver down 18 cents to 22.86, platinum down 12.25 to 937.75, and palladium is up $1.10 to 11.60 and 20 cents. You're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagle whose premium is $7.79, and if you want to sell to these folks over here at Money Metals, it's $25.19 each. Now, let's talk about the bullion sales at the United States Mint. We did notice, we talked about it in a video just about a week ago or so, that March and April saw a tremendous amount of buying of the American Gold Eagles. Now we're seeing a pretty good amount of American Gold Eagles sold here for October. And you know, we're looking at the geopolitical risk here in October, and we could possibly see the United States Mint actually add some more totals to the sales for October, even though it is only November 1st. I think they have a couple days in November they can report sales for October. But either way, yeah, sales hit a pretty good clip there for October. Now, let's get over here to the Google machine, and I put here central banks buying gold. And this is a generative AI's experimental info quality may vary, and that's kind of sad, but that's all right. It says here central banks are buying gold in response to economic and geopolitical uncertainty. Now, what are you doing about geopolitical and economic uncertainty? Are you making any moves, or are you just sitting flat-footed wondering what to do? Now, it says here in 2022, central banks bought $70 billion worth of gold, the most since 1950, and it was the fastest pace of gold purchases since 1967. And why are they doing this? Why are central banks buying gold? Well, diversification, because emerging market banks are buying gold to diversify away from the dollar, and gold can be swapped into any currency. And what's interesting about this is that there's many countries actually diversifying away from the dollar right now, and yet we see the dollar pretty strong. Now, it's probably one of the strongest points it's been in a year's time. It's not the strongest it's ever been, but still, it is the strongest it's been this year. Now, let's keep on keeping on here to the bottom here. It says central banks have loaded up on more gold than previously thought. This is out of Bloomberg just a day ago. Now, I got to read that again. This is going to hit home, at least it should. Central banks have loaded up on more gold than previously thought this year, offering crucial support to prices that have faced pressure from global monetary tightening. Yowza. Yeah, stronger dollar. Countries expanded bullion reserves by 337 tons in the 3 months through September, the World Gold Council said in a report on Tuesday. And what's today, Wednesday? Yeah. So that's kind of big news. That should be hitting home on everybody's forecast. Now it says here, Central Bank Gold, World Council's Q3 Gold Demand Trends Report right there. Now I'm just going to read some of these articles' headlines and just tell me what you think in the description or in the comments below. It says global central bank gold purchases reached a record high for the first 9 months of 2023. And let's see here, central bank gold binge is even bigger than previously thought. That was Yahoo Finance via Bloomberg. Now it says here, this is from Markets Insider, de-dollarization. China leads gold buying spree among central banks. That was 17 hours ago. So this is all breaking news, folks. China leads record gold binge. I think I might have even mentioned that. Yep. It's China, man. I'm just telling you, they're the ones going gonzo buying gold. Now, this is out of Reuters, and it's kind of an awkward title or headline. It says gold demands down with lower central bank buying in Q3, WGC says. And now what's Q3? Well, let's just get heads up here. January, February, March are Q1. April, May, June are Q2. July, August, and September are Q3. Now, October, November, December are Q4. All right. So they're talking about July, August, and September for this particular article. And I don't think that, and it says here global gold demand excluding over-the-counter trading slipped 6% in the Q3 as central bank buying fell short of last year's. Maybe they're comparing it to last year at that same time for that one quarter, but maybe not the rest of the quarters in the year. And we still have October, November, and December reporting to do. Now, check this out. Just 20 hours ago from Shift Gold, central banks on course for colossal year of gold buying. And yeah, I think you're getting the picture here. It's something big's happening. All right, something big. And it isn't just China. There's Thailand, right? It's incredible. Gold holds steady amid geopolitical tensions. Look to FOMC for fresh directional impetus. There it is. Now let's get to the getting. We got to be over here at Financial Times over here. And this just came out. It's China leads record central bank gold buying in first 9 months of the year. There it is. And I don't think I can hide. Yeah, I can. All right. And that's pretty cool. Look at that. Reminds me of the PAMP, right, in the plastic there. Central banks in emerging markets look to reduce reliance on U.S. dollar for reserve holding. So imagine if you held gold in reserves instead of the dollar, right? And what's interesting is that gold is pretty much at an all-time high right now. Now, China has spearheaded record levels. Now, you want to talk about inflation, that's a different story, but here we go. China has spearheaded record levels of central bank purchases of gold globally in the first 9 months of the year as countries seek to hedge against inflation and reduce their reliance on the dollar. See, there it is, folks. It's all in black and white right there for everybody to see. They're moving away from the dollar. Central banks have bought 800 tons in the first 9 months of the year, up 14% year on year, according to a report by the World Gold Council, an industry group, right? The voracious rate of buying gold has helped bullion prices defy surging bond yields and a strong dollar to trade just shy of $2,000 a troy ounce. And we've seen it at $2,000 per troy ounce. We have seen it in the last week or so. It says surging consumer prices and depreciating currencies in many markets has triggered a rush to gold as a store value, while the yellow metal has also historically been held when global inflation rises. So yeah, look at that. There's a lot of reasons, I would imagine, that people believe to hold gold right about now. The rush to gold by central banks is also driven by countries' desire to weaken their dependence on the U.S. dollar as reserve currency after Washington weaponized the greenback in its sanctions against Russia. China has stood out as the largest purchaser of gold this year as part of an 11-month buying streak. The People's Bank of China has reported snapping up 181 tons this year, taking gold holdings to 4% of its reserves. That's incredible. Poland at 57 tons and Turkey with 39 tons. Now, I guess this is just purchases for this year, followed by the next largest buyers in the third quarter, all right? A further 8 banks purchased more than 1 ton. The continued rapid rate of central bank buying has taken market analysts by surprise. I don't know. Why are they really that great analysts if they're by surprise, who had been expecting an easing of purchases from last year's all-time high? Those concerns will have been further stoked by the conflict that has erupted in the Middle East between Hamas and Israel, which has lifted the safe haven asset to almost 10% in 16 days. Imagine that, not even a month, a half a month, and it's up 10%. Imagine what it could do in 3 months, right? John Reed, chief market strategist at the World Gold Council, said that it expected the annual total of official gold purchases to get close to or to exceed last year's 1,081 tons. And they have a chart right here, first 3 quarters and the fourth quarter. So we haven't even reported fourth quarter sales. And I'd say, look at that. The first 3 quarters are just going gonzo compared to everything else. And if we have the same amount in the fourth quarter, we can add here, it'll clearly blow away 2022. So there's something to consider. Central banks report gold acquisitions to the IMF, but global flows of the yellow metal suggest that the real level of buying by official financial institutions, especially China and Russia, has been far higher than officially reported. Now, folks, do you really believe the numbers coming out of Russia or even China about buying gold? Or do you think they're keeping those cards close to the vest? Personally, I don't know what to believe. What I do know is that gold is going somewhere. The WGC estimated 129 tons of central bank purchases above what was officially reported in the third quarter, taking overall official sector buying to 337 tons. The total was more than double of the previous quarter, but down 27% of the same period a year ago. In August, BMO analysts, oh boy, easy for me to say, wrote that its analysis suggested that privately owned gold holdings and those under the central banks in China are significantly higher than annual consumer demand and official purchases might suggest. There you go. See, it all comes out in the wash, doesn't it? Chinese central bank gold buying, along with weak renminbi, oh boy, vapid local stock market and troubled real estate sector has also encouraged the country's consumers to rush towards purchasing bullion to store their wealth. Remember when Costco started selling gold bars? Yeah, they were gone in less than a few days. That's amazing. Now it says here, China is the biggest central bank buyer of gold globally. All right. Those factors have helped keep gold prices not far from its all-time high of 2,072 a troy ounce, and they didn't say when that actually happened, despite investors increasingly believing that the U.S. Federal Reserve will keep interest rates higher for longer. That led to $8 billion of outflows for gold-backed exchange-traded funds in the third quarter, which reminds me, if you don't hold it in your hand, do you really own it? Overall gold demand, excluding bilateral over-the-counter flows, was 6% weaker year-on-year at 1,147 tons. There it is, folks. I think the writing is clearly on the wall, and it's been on the wall for about a year and a half to 2 years. Have you been buying gold? Are you staying away from gold? Can you not afford gold? That's the position I'm in, and if I could afford gold, I would definitely be buying some of that yellow metal. Now, over here to the plus ones, I got a really good one here for you today. Bam! This is Sanhedrin. It says 38. It says here, when a man uses a die to stamp out coins, they all come out alike. But the Lord stamped all men with the die of Adam. Yet each is different. So everyone has a right to say, for my sake was the world created. So if you're not feeling like you belong here, you're not part of the program, just remember that. Think about that. We were all stamped with the die of Adam, and I think we can all understand that metaphor because, well, we're into coins here, right? Yeah. So obviously, you stamp out a coin with that die, everything looks identical, even the heirs, right? Think about that. Well, each man is different, and they're struck with the die of Adam, and we all have different heirs that we're working on. Isn't that something? That's huge. That's like so profound. That's almost like give you a chicken skin thinking about that one. Now let's head over here to 395.99.9 KOIN Coin News Radio. This is Spandau Ballet. True. See, it's true. Look at that. It says so right there. So there it is, folks. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you're and see, well, sub the channel. It's free. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. That's you right there. And once we get to 10,000, we'll start selling the merchandise for Son of a Silver Stacker. Got some great ideas. Hope to see you there along the way. Stacker out.